All right, welcome to your on-campus interview. I guess kind of on campus. I'm on campus, but I'm interviewing student body president Jacob Marley today. So, Jacob, do you want to kind of tell us where you're at today and what you're doing?
Yeah. I'm an intern in the Washington State Legislature. So currently I'm in Olympia, Washington. In the Capitol. So I'm
Oh,
working within the House of Representatives. So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
dude, that's awesome. What kind of
Yeah.
things do they have you doing from day to day?
Let me see. I schedule meetings. I take meetings. I sit in on meetings. Kind of just like learn about like legislation and how to make legislation and like how government works. Build relationships. I say build relationships probably like the biggest part and like networking.
Yeah,
So it's kind of like a lot. You do a lot of stuff. You know what I mean?
no, for sure, for sure. Is this kind of like what you want to do in the end, like your end goal once you graduate and everything, that kind of
Mm,
stuff?
I yeah, well, yeah. Graduate from Dickinson. I don't know. I think I want to go get my master's degree,
Yeah.
but this is a place I definitely want to work at like sometime in the near future. You know what I mean?
No, totally. So how long have you been doing this? Just this semester?
Um,
Like when did you initially start?
like let me see the second January 2nd. So
Oh, wow. Okay. So you've been
yeah,
going for
so
a little bit then.
yeah. We've been going for a little bit. It's been kind of flying by, but it's fun. A lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. No, for sure. That's cool. So yeah, I just kind of another question, like what are your future goals and what do you kind of plan on doing like afterwards and,
Mm-hmm.
with this internship and continue to study from DSU and that kind of stuff too?
Well, so like I'm getting my degree from DSU in May, and so like I said, I think I want to go to like Central Washington University and get my master's degree in like law and justice, and
Hmm.
then in the future, I don't know, I'm hoping I'm able to come and work back here in the Capitol, but
Yeah.
I'm also open to becoming like a city officer here in Olympia, Washington. So
Very,
yeah, it's kind of you know.
yeah, money moves, man. That's good stuff. So yeah, I guess like, do you ever really plan on coming back to Dickinson other than graduation, or you just kind of, Washington, that's where it's at?
Washington is definitely where it's at.
Yeah.
Um, I may come back to Dickinson like outside of like graduation, like to visit some people because obviously like I still got like a lot of friends and like you. So I'd love to come see y'all again. But as for like my time in North Dakota, I think it's done
Come
potentially.
to an end. Yeah, no, you can't, you left at the right time. A couple weeks ago, it was like, oh my gosh, minus 35. Like it was unbelievable.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do not want to be in that. I'll tell you that much.
Oh yeah, no, it was brutal. My car didn't start for like 3 days, 2 days. Yeah, I was pretty much
Mm.
stranded. I'm trying to walk from
Yeah,
place to place. Yeah, it was not fun.
do not miss that. No,
Yeah,
no.
no, I gotcha. So yeah, I mean, you still remain as student body president as well.
Mhm.
What do we kind of have to look forward to this semester on campus and how you're kind of connecting with us from afar
Mhm.
in that sense?
Yeah, no. So first off, I'm really happy with y'all, and like I think we got a great Senate. So
Hmm.
I'm able to like still be the student body president. But as for like on campus stuff, we got like some like wrestling event coming up, which I'm
Hmm.
really happy about. Like we're buying some shirts for that, and then I'd say be on the lookout for like a rec night, another rec night,
Yeah,
and then
totally.
let me see. That's kind of all that's on the top of my head right now, but I'm totally sure that we're probably going to be having like a lot of events come up in the semester. We're usually
For sure.
popping up, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, yeah, we totally like, especially with spring break and stuff, we always try to host a meal and that kind of thing too. Just, I mean, with the weather kind of becoming a little bit nicer, that helps. So
Hmm.
get that rolling. So I guess with my final question, unfortunately, I know you're not at DSU, but your time at DSU, with a wrap up question of what does DSU mean to you?
I've asked that question a lot myself, um and honestly, like I don't mean to sound like redundant like everybody else, but it is like a home. When I first came to DSU, I was kind of unsure if I could make it. You know what I mean? And like
Yeah,
make all the friends that I made, but honestly, it's become like a second home to me. And I've just made so many friends and so many connections, and I've also had so many opportunities.
yeah.
So I say DSU to me, it was and it is like an opportunity, and it's also a second home.
No, totally, man. We miss you a ton. I saw Darion the other day and I was like, man, I know he misses Jacob for sure. Super
Yeah,
lonely.
I miss Darion and y'all too. I miss
Oh,
everybody so much.
Yeah, no. All right. Well, thank you, Jacob. We appreciate you and good luck in Washington. Hopefully we'll see you in May at graduation.
Yes, I'll see you guys then. Thank you.
You bet.
What's up, everybody? My name is Xander Beeson. Welcome back to Hawk Talk. We have a full house today of people associated with the greatest club on campus, the Student Ambassadors. So I'll have you guys just introduce yourself, name, where you're from, what brought you to DSU.
Hi, my name's Ronnie Nacota. I'm from Riverton, Wyoming. What brought me to DSU originally was the Theodore Roosevelt Honors Leadership Program, but I'm no longer in that, but that doesn't matter to me. Dickinson State's a great community, so I'm glad to be here.
I'm Stephanie Osborne. I am originally from Forsyth, Montana. Came here a while ago. I'm not going to say when. I was a student here at Dickinson State. Got my undergraduate degrees from here, and then I got approached by the Office of Admissions a couple months before I graduated, so I started working there. Wasn't planning on staying in Dickinson. Fell in love with the admissions office and obviously the community here in Dickinson. I was in admissions for about 6 to 7 years, and then became a faculty member this year. So I teach in the School of Business and Entrepreneurship. So kind of done the whole gamut here at Dickinson State.
Hi, I'm Ryan Siegler. I am actually from Clarksburg, West Virginia, so not very close from here. But I've made my way to Dickinson. I love it here so far. I've been here about 1 semester, however many months that makes it. And I'm really liking it here. So I've worked in admissions for about 16 years before I came here, and now I'm here enjoying it and working in admissions as a director.
Happy to have you guys. If you guys just want to tell me a little bit, I mentioned that you guys are here for the Student Ambassadors. You just kind of want to dive into what you guys do, what the Student Ambassadors are.
So Student Ambassadors, they're a program on campus that promotes campus events. We kind of put on events as well. The huge thing is just getting involved, like our involvement along with other students' involvement. So if we're going to go to a basketball game, we're going to go to a choir concert, we want to drag as many people as we can with it, so that the people there that are participating are on the court, on the stage, that they see the love from Dickinson State and the other students.
Yeah, and Ryan and I are co-advisors. So I was the director of admissions, and then I switched over, obviously, like I said, to be a faculty. Ryan is the new director. He's doing a fantastic job. When he came in, we kind of talked about the ambassadors, and I was like, I love this group. I love working with you guys. And I was like, will you let me kind of be a co-advisor? And he said he would enjoy that. So I appreciate that from him. So we've been co-advising since he got here. And what the Student Ambassadors is, I guess to me, is just a group that, like, you guys are leaders on campus. You guys are the people that, like, when a student comes here, we want them to have a friendly face. So these guys do campus tours. They meet a lot of the incoming students through the admissions office. And it's just fun to work with students that are leaders, that really care about making Dickinson State a place that students want to be, that they're having a good time. So that's kind of the biggest thing is the involvement, like Ronnie said, just being a group that is here, that is dedicated to giving back to Dickinson State, because I feel like a lot of you guys would agree, right, that you guys get a lot out of DSU and the community, and so you're giving back to the university, which we appreciate. So
For me, like, the best part about Dickinson State is the students, right? So having the ambassadors be the ones that are excited, who really want to showcase that off, I think is great, because they get to meet with future students. They can see what it's like to be here. They can see that you all love it. They can see that this is a great place to be. And then once here, they have a group of people they can work with to learn how to get involved, so they're not just here by themselves.
Yeah. That's awesome. You guys already kind of answered this question, but I want to ask Ronnie, what is your role with the Student Ambassadors?
My role with the Student Ambassadors is secretary, so I kind of just take care of the nitty-gritty stuff behind the scenes. If anything needs to get done that Cass or Dallis don't have time for, or Steph doesn't have time for, they kind of reach out to me and they're like, hey, can you get this done, or can you be here for this? And I'm there for meetings, and I do the agendas for meetings, and I kind of just make sure that we're running smooth in the front from the back.
I like that.
I'll use that in the future.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I might get that tattooed on me or something. I don't know. What are some of the things you guys have in store for this upcoming semester or just moving forward?
So we are excited. There's a couple new developments. So Ryan and I are also both on the retention committee here at Dickinson State. So that's a group that meets, and it's like, okay, admissions is bringing students in. That's the recruitment piece. We got to get them here. And then once they're here, how do we keep students here? How do we keep them engaged? Which is, student ambassadors is a huge part of that. But we meet with this retention committee and we talk about what are some of the other things we can do. We met recently and talked about how we have a smaller group of new first-time freshmen that come in the spring semester. Obviously, we have a lot of first-time freshmen that come in the fall, but we have a smaller group in the spring. So we're like, how do we get those students connected quicker? Because there's just not as many things going on typically at this beginning of the spring semester, not like, you know, in the fall there's homecoming and all those things. So it was like, how do we find that connection for them? So we are piloting a mentor program, which you guys obviously know about, but having a student ambassador be a contact person, you know, take them to events, get to know them over a meal in the cafeteria, those kinds of things. So that's one of the big things that we're excited about.
And we kind of want to expand that too, to take it not just for when they get here, but before they get here as well. So doing a little bit more with getting all the ambassadors connected with the future students, and not just giving a tour, but following up with them, talking about, you know, communicating with them, telling them what it's like to be a student, what to expect, maybe even if they're local, inviting them to come join for a game even before they get here, just to become a part of the student population a little bit faster.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. How does someone join the ambassadors if we were to have open spots? Like, is there emails that get sent out? I guess I already know because I am a student ambassador, but I have to be impartial.
Yes.
Like we just had the clubs and fairs orgs yesterday. I guess how would someone join if they wanted to?
Yeah, so we typically don't have a lot of spots open up in the spring semester. We do actually have a couple this spring, so we're hoping to get those filled. But typically it's fall, right? So students come back. We have the club and orgs fair in the fall, you know, within the first couple weeks. We get a list of interested students. We'll send a specific email to those students that say like, hey, thanks for talking to us at the club and orgs fair. We have open spots. This is what you do to apply. We also send an email to the student body, but students typically submit a resume to us. We ask them to do a couple short essay questions, you know, just talking about what are the ways to get involved, what can student ambassadors do to get students involved, those kinds of things. And then we do an interview process from there. So we look at a lot of different factors, right? We look at obviously the resume, we look at the essays that they've written, we look at their interview skills, and then we also take into consideration what are they involved in, what kind of degrees, because we want the student ambassadors to kind of encompass as much of the student body as possible. So we're trying to make sure that we have people from different degrees, from different athletics, from different fine arts programs, so that we kind of cover the whole spectrum. I don't know if there's anything else you
No,
want to add.
and I think beyond that, we just want to make sure even if not selected, we still want people to stay involved and
Yes.
engaged, and there'll always be opportunities in the future.
Yes, and we have had a few students that there's only so many scholarships that we can give out per year for spots, but we have had students in the past that joined us and didn't get a scholarship and still put in the effort, which was amazing. And eventually when we did have a scholarship spot open up, they were able to take one of those, and yeah, it's worked out really good. We've had a few students do that path, and we appreciate the dedication that they had, even though they weren't getting, the scholarship yet.
Okay. Ronnie, I will direct this question to you because you are one of the students and the student ambassadors. What benefits come with being a student ambassador?
I think the benefits of coming with the student ambassadors is definitely being a part of the group. Sometimes, like especially if you're a first-year freshman coming in, you don't know what you're going to do for friends or like how you're going to make friends. And student ambassadors, if you join that group, it's kind of just a group that you know is going to want you there. Like the basketball, like if you want to go to a basketball game but you're afraid to sit by yourself and you are in the student ambassadors, you've got a group to go sit with, you've got friends to be with. So I would have to say that's a big perk about it. And then I'd have to say like just the involvement on campus. Like that we're going to be there, even if it is like something like choir where like some students are like, I don't know if I should go. Like we're going to sit there and be like, well, we can go with you. Like don't worry, we'll go with you. So that's what's nice.
And the scholarship money.
Yeah, I think I remember when I interviewed, there was scholarship money involved, but I was in the TR program, which also does involve scholarship money. So it wasn't like something I was in need of, but I was like, I need to be involved on campus. And so I was like, this is a great way to do it. Steph can account for maybe my first few tours. It was pretty quiet. She was like, don't worry, by your junior, senior year, you're going to be talking away. And it's definitely changed for me. I don't feel as awkward unless I get like a group of guys that didn't come with their parents and they're just like, any questions? And I get the crickets. Otherwise, it's fun to do it. I'm excited to do tours all the time. Sometimes it's also exciting to be able to see faces that you recognize coming to your school, especially someone coming from 8 hours away. And I've recognized a handful of people. It's nice to see that people from like Wyoming recognize that Dickinson State is here.
Wyoming, best state in the union.
I agree.
And I know I'm not a student, but I will say I think one of the other benefits that you guys get is networking, right? And that's any club or organization. That's the point of joining, is that you become more a part of the Dickinson campus, the community. You build those connections. Like, so Xander texted me today and he's like, hey, can you come do Hawk Talk? Like, that's because we feel comfortable doing that because I'm your advisor for this club. So all of the connections that you make with the faculty, with the staff, with the other students, all of that networking is so important that down the road, those connections are going to make a difference. And I talk about this in my business classes, but networking, super important.
I also think the professional development that happens is great. Like you said, like learning, being able to come out of your shell a little bit, learning how to talk to people, how to give a presentation if that was the case, or just how to really work with people. I think those skills, while not always taught in the classroom, are really important to know.
Meeting the governor the other day.
Yes.
We had student ambassadors and other students from other clubs come, and they got to see all of the things that went into the state of the state address with the governor, and got to meet him and stuff. So all that, super important.
Not to brag, I did get a picture with him.
Yeah,
he wanted to take a picture with me. He's like, Xander, I'm a huge fan of your work. I was like, anything for my fans.
Makes sense.
Yes.
Obviously.
Perfect. Yeah.
All right, you're stuck on a deserted island. You're allowed to bring three things. What are you bringing?
Oh my gosh.
Switch up the pace of the interview on you guys. I bet you guys were not prepared for that.
I was not prepared for that question. Stranded alone by myself. Probably a volleyball. That'll keep me entertained and stuff.
Wilson.
Yeah. I don't want to say my phone because that's just like an obvious answer for people our age, and I could definitely survive without it. I would like to assume if this island doesn't have food, I'd like to have an unlimited supply of food so I can live. And then what else would I bring? It's a hard question.
It is, dude.
Yeah.
That's why I threw it in here.
Yeah.
You guys weren't ready for it.
Curveball. Yep, we were going one way and you're like, let's go back this way.
Yeah, exactly. Gotta keep you guys on your toes.
Well, for me, a water purifier. Survivor fan, gotta watch some of those things. So we need a water purifier. That's a big deal, right? You can do anything as long as you have water. Is like if I have a series of books, does that count as one?
I'll count it.
Okay, so I have a favorite series. It's the Red Rising series. There's 6 books currently, so it's pretty. That could get me through a lot of things. God, I don't know.
See, books went through my head. I'm not a huge reader, so I was like, I don't know how to say
I'm
that.
a pretty big reader. I don't know. What else would I want to have? I don't know. Can I take my son and my kid? I love those people.
I suppose.
They're pretty great.
That works for me. He is cute, so I'll let that one slide as well.
Suntan lotion.
There it is.
I'm gonna burn.
Now that's an
gonna be a thing. A never-ending supply of audiobooks, and a large supply of Coca-Cola.
No one brought a weapon. That's
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't. I think I'd be okay.
Okay, all right.
I think I'd bring my dog, though, because he would definitely, he's not.
He'd do the hunting for you.
Yeah.
I don't think so. He would definitely. I don't do that. He's such a he's a bully pit, and he's scared of everything. Everything. But he would keep me entertained and
That's
stuff.
good. All right, final question. It's our staple question of Hawk Talk. We ask everyone that comes on, what does DSU mean to you?
DSU means to me, it means family. I came from a very small school, 300 people with elementary, middle school, and high school. So coming to DSU, I was a little worried that I wasn't going to feel that same community vibe as I did from high school. And then I got here and I met Steph, I met President Steve Easton, Mary from the TR program, and like everyone just made me feel so welcome. Especially, I'd have to give a shout out to Dr. Dragseth. She's probably one of my favorite people at Dickinson State. I probably last year wouldn't have made it without her. I was her student
Work study.
yeah. And I think I look forward to going to that job more than I did my regular job. And Dickinson State definitely brings a big love into my life for this place.
For me, it's got to be opportunities. So again, came from a small town, right? And I came to DSU because I was like, I want something that's not too big, not too expensive. It was kind of my middle ground school. And I was part of the Theodore Roosevelt Honors Leadership Program. I was part of student ambassadors when we had it back then. I was in business club, and I found all of these things that I could be a part of, and I networked. I met people, and that led to I got a work-study job in financial aid, and then that got me an internship, and then I got my job in admissions. And all of these things have just been opportunities after opportunities. And, you know, I worked in admissions for a long time. I was able to work my way up to the director spot. And then from there, I was, you know, approached by Lori Hoff, and she's like, hey, have you ever thought of teaching? And I was like, nope, I sure haven't. And she was like, well, we have a spot open in Sobey. Like, do you want to consider teaching now that you have a son? It would allow you to spend, you know, time in the summer with him. And I was like, gosh, yeah. So another opportunity. So this place has just been my home. Obviously, I've been here for a long time now, gosh, like 12 years. And it's just been opportunity after opportunity for me.
Awesome.
I would say for me, it's adventure and home. Like, I traveled here 1,500 miles to a new place, knew everything, didn't know anybody, didn't know my way around. So it's been fun getting here. And you know, it does feel like home. I feel like I'm getting used to everything. People are welcoming. It's just been really great.
That's awesome. All right, well, thank you guys for coming on Hawk Talk. I was kind of talking about it before, so it was extremely last minute, so I appreciate you guys and your willingness to come on. We'll see you guys next week. Perfect.
Welcome back to another episode with Minute with President Easton. So, President Easton, what are some of your favorite cozy meals in the wintertime?
Oh, that's a terrible question to ask a person that's been gaining weight. You know, I love the traditional Thanksgiving meal. Especially stuffing, which is like the worst thing for old people like me to eat, the absolute worst thing. I hate it that all the really good tasting food is the stuff that's bad for you. So I would say number one is the Thanksgiving, Christmas, turkey. You can never turn down a good pizza, also terrible for you. But my favorite kind of food, and it even applies to the winter as a generic kind of food, is Mexican food. I grew up in town Scottsbluff, Nebraska, which had the most amazing Mexican food on earth. We have pretty good Mexican food in Dickinson too. So that'd be where I'd go.
What's up, everybody? My name is Xander Beeson. I'm here for this week's DSU Weekly Sports Recap. For men's basketball, last weekend the Blue Hawks traveled a long ways to compete against Waldorf and Viterbo and played Valley City yesterday. This weekend they compete and will travel east to take on Mayville State. Women's basketball, the women's basketball team also traveled a ways away to Waldorf and Viterbo. They also played against Valley City yesterday, and they will be playing against Mayville State. Indoor track and field, the men and women's team traveled to Brookings, South Dakota, and now will go over to Fargo and will compete in the Bison Open on Friday and Saturday. Men's wrestling has been on the go with competing in many duels over the last couple of weeks. They just hosted the annual Tyler Plummer Classic and then took on the opponent Jamestown University. They will now head to Orange City, Iowa to compete against the Red Raiders. Women's wrestling, they just completed their duel against Jamestown and will now have a couple weeks off before they head to the Heart of America Conference Tournament in Oskaloosa, Iowa. Thank you guys for watching. As always, Hawks are up. Oskaloosa, Iowa.